Live.
Perfect. Welcome to Dirty Fanatics.
And Falcon Nation, the Atlanta Falcons has just dropped breaking news. So, of course, DFU was already scheduled to go live tonight. And then the breaking news happens right before DFU is scheduled to go live. Falcon fans, hit that like button, leave a comment. We are here to talk Falcons football, the recap of the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Atlanta Falcons. As always, I'm your host, Chase Creevy, followed by my co-host, my guy Philip, a.k.a. Mr. Avitz, my guy Robert, a.k.a. Mr. Megabit, and my dog Cody Keeler is here to talk Falcon football. Falcon fans, hit that like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We are talking Falcon football. Falcon fans, it has happened. It has officially happened. We've talked about it, and we've talked about it. And Raheem Morris said, you know what? It's time to pull the plug. Falcon fans, Michael Penix Jr. will start Sunday in New York. Falcon fans, how are we feeling about this in the chat? Get active. Let me know. Chat, hit that like button. Tag a Falcon friend. We have got to talk about this new quarterback change here in Atlanta. Philip, first off, this is breaking news, so let's start the podcast off with it. Michael Penix Jr. starts Sunday. Philip, how are we feeling about this?
I don't know. I don't think it's anything personal, like to do with anybody, whether, it is like some people just get on here and be fair weather fans. I'm not that type of person. I personally think it was Kirk's decision and doesn't want to, he knows his situation, what's going on with the Achilles still. And his elbow at the moment as well, so I feel like this was his moment where he just didn't want to see the team fail or, not really say the team fail or like he just don't want to let the team down, nor does he want to let the city down. He said that many times that he just doesn't want to lose the hope of the fans because he's seen how strong we are when when we're behind him, and he wants to continue that. So I feel like this is more of Kirk's way of saying he's still not fully recovered. And we'll break it down from last night's game and, later as we go on. But we've seen it last night multiple times. But, I'm confident in this move. And, I mean, I don't want to make it seem like Kirk couldn't do it. I just feel like he was more not fully recovered. So I feel like I'm more confident at the moment with coming in with Penix in this game and the rest of the season than I was with Kirk. Just because I feel like he wasn't fully recovered and it was just getting worse and worse.
Falcon fans, you saw a game last night where the game plan was run because Kirk Cousins can't sit in the pocket and throw the football. Yes, pressure was in his face, but I would say over the past month of football, the Falcons' offensive line has held up kind of somewhat decent for Kirk to sit in the pocket and make these passes. As Philip stated, the Atlanta Falcons have moved on from Kirk Cousins as of now. Right now, it's Michael Penix Jr. He will be your quarterback finishing off the season. This is breaking news here tonight. Obviously, they talked to Raheem this morning. Raheem Morris said that he was not sure of who would be the quarterback heading on. He had to look at the tape. He said they got back late, looked at the tape this morning, said that obviously now the breaking news, Raheem Morris announces that Michael Penix Jr. is your starting quarterback. Cody, what's going on, brother? Glad to have you here on the podcast tonight. Raheem Morris has officially announced Michael Penix Jr. will be your starting quarterback to end the season. Cody, how are we feeling about this move, brother? And what does this mean as a Falcon fan?
Yeah, no, I think this is absolutely the right move. And I think this 100% confirms, what we've been saying on this podcast for 4 or 5 weeks now is that Kirk Cousins isn't healthy. That he's been hurt this whole time, or maybe not this whole time. I definitely don't think he was hurt for the first half of the season when we were 6-3. But I think as the season went on, that it started to put that wear and tear on that Achilles, and then somewhere along the line, that elbow starts bothering him. So I 100% feel like this is the coaches finally, like I've been saying, you have to say thank you to Kirk, for being a competitor and wanting to be out there, and you love seeing that from your starting quarterback. But this is also a situation where it's good to see Coach Raheem Morris step up and protect a player from himself. I really feel like this isn't, yes, it's a performance-based issue as well, but I think in the grand scheme of things, this is a thing. Kirk Cousins was not healthy. It was showing in his play. It showed all night last night, him holding his knee, holding his leg, holding, that area, on that injured leg. He was not healthy for that Raider game. He has not been healthy since, probably since right before the Saints game, the last Saints game. So what this means for the Falcons means we have a healthy quarterback, a healthy, young, new quarterback that people don't have tape on, that people have to now get ready for our mobile quarterback and have to get ready for a left-handed quarterback and all that stuff that goes into it. Now, this is the one thing Falcon fans have to be ready for. There's going to be growing pains with Michael Penix. I know he's had some start time but it's been very minimal. So do not expect him to come out and look like, Michael Vick and Matt Ryan combined, because that's not his game. He's, other than left-handedness, he's not Michael Vick. We definitely don't think he's Matt Ryan yet. We hope he gets to that level, but this is just kind of an infusion of hope for us. And I've already seen, I was looking right before we went live, all the Buccaneer fans, are so excited about this, but that's not necessarily good news for y'all, because he's got, the good news is you've got Bijan, you've got Tyler, you've got Drake, you've got Mooney. So he's got weapons around him to where he doesn't have to beat you. We could still beat you with Tyler Algier and Bijan.
Guess how many passing yards Michael Penix Jr. had in one season? Just take a gamble.
In college, probably close to 4 or 5.
4,641, becoming the Huskies' all-time single season passing leader during the Alamo Bowl. He was named AP Comeback Player of the Year. Guys, we have selected a quarterback at number 8 for this exact reason. This was what Terry grabbed Michael Penix Jr. for, because if you had this moment where Kirk is injured, if Kirk is battling some kind of mental health, whatever that may be right now with Kirk Cousins, the saying in football, guys, and we say it every week, no matter what the position is, next man up. And that is the goal here from what Raheem Morris has released here tonight. He stated their goal is to go out and win Sunday. This is a professional football move to go out and win this Sunday against the New York Giants. Robert, glad to have you here in the live podcast. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just add a little something, though? And for the people that are, like, upset about the deal with Kirk Cousins getting paid so much, look at it this way. This isn't a full total waste. Just say he is on the bench. You're using that knowledge from a great quarterback as in Kirk Cousins, who's also still sitting on the bench at the moment, still in our rookie's ear.
Yeah, and he's going to play this on the sideline as a coach.
Something that we didn't have last year for Desmond Ridder. We didn't have that. We have it now, and with a great veteran. It's perfect. So I don't necessarily see that in a bad way, in my opinion. I'm looking at the positives with that, honestly. So
absolutely.
I hope Kirk is, still ends up here in Atlanta, but we'll find out. We never know what happens. This is a business sport. We'll see, but this isn't a total bad thing.
Real quick, shout out to the chat before we get to Robert. The chat is popping off tonight, as I knew it would be with the breaking news. Shout out to Emmanuel Kurtz on YouTube. Shout out to the new viewer here. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to DFU, and ring that bell if you're a Falcon fan, because all we bring you is Atlanta Falcon content. My guy Avno in the chat said, ugly win Monday felt like a loss, to be honest. Sterling Wood in the chat said, we won, but it didn't feel like it, if that makes sense. Nick Bungalow in the chat with the good luck, Michael Penix. Nick has a little bit of worrisome for Michael Penix. We'll talk about that here in a second. Sterling Wood says, Penix, let's go. Let's win these last games. Make the playoffs. Absolutely. Carlton Bunch in the chat said, about time, put Penix in. Chris Soto is in the chat. He said, the time is now, gentlemen. all or nothing. Absolutely. My guy Dwayne Ruffin in the chat with it said it's going down. It is happening, brother. It is happening. Football just got very, very exciting after a
It's
very dual
interesting.
win Monday
These next 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks is going to be really interesting between us and Tampa.
Regardless of how you look at it, Michael Penix Jr. is growing. You are getting a positive out of this situation. No matter how you look at it, you are getting a positive. You are growing. You are Falcon fans. A lot of Falcon fans maybe didn't like the move of moving from Kirk Cousins at this moment. But let's be honest. Kirk Cousins not your future. Michael Penix Jr. is. So why not see what you have now? Because you've drafted him at 8 overall. How many round 1 number 8 players sit a whole season, a whole entire season without seeing the field? Hardly any. Hardly any.
You know, it's going to be real fun because we just got told today we're having a Sunday night game against Washington. We're going to get to see rookie versus rookie.
Jaden Daniels. When I seen that flex, Robert, I'm coming to you, brother. When I seen that flex, Philip, when I seen that game,
I just had a feeling.
I knew then Michael Penix Jr. would be playing that game because don't flex. You don't make that a prime time with Kirk Cousins at quarterback after the struggles we just did on Monday night. Robert, what's going on, brother? Glad to have you here tonight. Robert's been busy, really busy with the work schedule. Wasn't able to make the pregame show, but he's here for the postgame show, Falcons versus Las Vegas Raiders. Robert, we're going to get into that game very soon, but breaking news, Michael Penix Jr. is now your starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. Robert, how are we feeling about this move, brother?
I think it's the right move. It is a risky move, and like you guys have been saying. I mean, there's going to be growing pains, but obviously Kirk's not healthy. He's definitely a liability instead of an asset, and that's not a personal knock against him. I appreciate all that he's done. He put us in a good position to be at this point. I mean, we lost 4 in a row. But, he got us to the point where we are still in the hunt this late in the season. This change at quarterback, I mean, having fresh blood out there, this could be what ignites the engine finally. I'm just, like I said, it's a risky move, yes, but I do tip my hat and give kudos to Coach Ra for having the guts to make this move at this point. He sees what's ahead of us. And, if his gut's telling him, the rookie's going to give us the best shot at winning, hats off to him. And I personally like the move. Like I said, Penix is the future. Kirk is he's not got much longer to go.
Technically, if you look at it from a football professional standpoint, Kirk Cousins is your bridge quarterback 2 to 3 years. And that's
exactly.
Exactly. Well, Falcon fans, go ahead, Cody.
Well, and this is the thing that we got to remember is, I don't think this move is, hey, Kirk Cousins, thanks for, this season we're shipping you out. I think this is a, hey, Kirk, you gave us everything you had. You're hurt. You're no longer able to win football games against good playoff teams. By no means. So I think that Michael Penix starts next year. I still think that this is Kirk Cousins' football team.
Let me say this. If for any reason Michael Penix Jr. does win you these last 3 games in a nice performance, then possibly I see a Penix starting next season.
If he shines,
if he plays like he was a number 8 first round pick.
If Michael Penix goes out these next 3 weeks, he shines. He goes into Washington and just puts on a show.
If Penix takes you to the playoffs,
and then you go, let's hypothetically say, Tampa just ends up losing these next 3 to Dallas. You got New Orleans and then Carolina. There's a possibility they at least lose 1 and we can at least win, some here. And he takes us to the playoffs and continues to shine and at least wins a playoff game. I think you keep him. You keep him as a starter. But we'll just have to see.
It's a lot that's going to happen in this last.
We'll just have to see.
What could be a month or even longer of football. It's exciting to see.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and I can definitely see, absolutely. If Michael Penix goes out and he looks like, he's putting up 500 yards, 300 to 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he does that for the next 3 games, absolutely. But my thing is too is if he goes out there and he looks good, let's say he looks good, just nothing stellar, because I mean let's be honest, he's a rookie. He's gonna struggle, and he looks like a rookie, but he still wins you those 3 games, or the next 3 games. I still think he's gonna have to put up gaudy numbers, and he's going to have to absolutely blow these. And there's a possibility he could, because we're playing Washington. Then you got the New York Giants here at home,
and Lamar Jackson just put up 5 touchdowns on them.
Right. So I mean, and now if he looks like that the next 3 games, I think you guys are absolutely right. This is at that point, this is Michael Penix's team. However, if he just goes out, looks okay, still gets us to the playoffs, and then at that point, I still think it's Kirk's team.
Chat is going crazy. Chat's even got some good questions here for us here on the panel, so we're gonna make sure we answer these and go around. It's almost been a 20-minute podcast, and we haven't even hit the recap of last night's game because of the breaking news of Michael Penix Jr. Shout out to Tony Primetime Dunn in the chat. Hit that like button, brother. Glad to have your comment here. It says Kirk wasn't 100% of the problem, which we all can agree. I think everybody here on this platform can all agree Kirk wasn't 100% of the problem. So what happens when Penix effed this up? So let's look at that. Let's see what happens if Penix goes out there and nothing has changed. This offense is completely trash. This is what happens. You fire Zach Robinson.
Yeah,
you fire Zach Robinson. There's your answer. But this is how it works in the NFL. All right. Before you fire a coach, guess what? A player is going to get chewed. A player is going to get pulled, and we're going to try somebody else in that position. And we're going to hope that player saves that coach's ass. And if that player doesn't save that coach's ass, well, guess what? That coach is now on the hot seat. That's how this works out. This may be why you have a Penix over a Kirk Cousins in the last 3 weeks of the season. That's my take on it, Tony.
This is Exhibit A from last night. I'm just going to take it. It's a 50-50 chance, but you had the plays all night long that worked. It was open. There was players there.
You missed 2 passes to Ray McCloud. You missed 2 to Darnell Mooney. My bad, not Ray McCloud.
We're gonna bring in how I'm just gonna bring it up. He was just stationary the entire time. He took 3 sacks from not moving. You overthrew some, or not overthrew. You underthrew a good bit of passes. There was one that you had to Darnell Mooney, just didn't get it to him.
The interception was atrocious.
The interception didn't make sense, and it was, I don't know, it's just the
he
thing
even
about
said,
him.
Kirk even said, that's why I like Kirk, because Kirk will own up to his mistakes. Like even in his post game interview, Kirk, the first thing Kirk said when they asked about the interception, he said it was dumb. It was a stupid decision. Like it made no sense. I have no idea why I threw that ball. And that's the professional part of Kirk Cousins. And that's why where Philip says when the podcast started that maybe this is a move where Kirk Cousins says, hey, let's try the young kid out. Maybe I am a little banged up. Maybe I do need to get mentally right, healthy, physically prepared for what could happen next season with this team. As Cody says, maybe Kirk Cousins stays another year and he starts next season. Maybe this is Kirk's time to get healthy. What if Penix takes you to the playoffs and the Falcons say, hey, guess what? Kirk's at 100%. Let's put Kirk back in. Who knows what could happen? Who knows what could happen these last few games? And,
the other positives that you got to look at, too, from last night's game where there were situations where there were 2 situations that Kirk took off. And, obviously he didn't get very far, Kirk Cousins, but, there were situations where he actually took off and ran where in previous games we watched him throw balls for interceptions. And so, it's one of those things is like, it's good to see that Kirk is kind of, I don't want to say figured out because he should have it figured out by this point because he is a veteran, a veteran quarterback. But it was good to see that. But again, you could just tell. This is why I don't think he loses his job unless Michael Penix just blows us all out of the water. Is you could just tell Kirk was hurt. Period. Whether it be, I'm sure between the Achilles and the elbow or the wrist or whatever has got going on, and that gets in your head too, man. Let's be honest. The older you get, Kirk's been a stud his entire life. That's how these guys that play in the NFL are. And as you get older and you realize that you're starting to fall off a little bit, that up here, gets in between the ears a little bit. Yep. And so, maybe that is part of it too. But man, I'm looking forward to the experiment for sure.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be fun. You can see the fans in the comment section. The fans are going crazy here tonight because this is an exciting move. Falcon fans are excited to see what maybe the future could be here in Atlanta. Shout out to I Love African Black People with the comment says, I love Black African people. I do too, brother. I do too. We love everybody
That's
here.
my
on DFU.
QB.
Hit that subscribe button. Leave a like, comment. Shout out to I Love African Black People. Shannon Naproa. I can never pronounce that word. Now I'm terrible with names, so please excuse me, Shannon, if I'm saying that wrong. I'm excited to see what Penix brings to the offense. I'm excited to see that matchup, Daniels versus Penix. It's going to be fun, man. That's what I'm saying. The last few games of Falcon football could be exciting. Keith Jackson says we have a good blocking back. That's him referring to this comment. I'm guessing with McGarry. You do have a great blocking running back in Bijan Robinson. Sterling Wood in the chat says,
well,
or Tyler.
But that's a good question there, who we put on Penix's blind side. I honestly think that Jake Matthews is good enough that you could flip him and put him on that opposite side.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, what do you got to lose?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Caleb McGarry played on the left side in his college career.
I think so.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe so.
That was the big issue. That was one of the questions when Caleb McGarry swapped to the right when he came into the league was, why the hell are they messing with a player that played on the left side of the field his whole college career, and now he plays on the right? I think you're right on that, Philip. I need to look that up. Sterling Woods in the chat said, when Tony went down and Dak came out and played well, the Cowboys let Tony walk. And that's how franchises begin. That's how you start a franchise, when you have like a Matty Ice. And this was a move that should have been done years prior before you let Matty Ice go.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Thomas Dimitroff doing terrible things. I won't knock him all the way because he did bring some nice players to Atlanta. He did bring some postseason wins in Atlanta. So I will say Thomas Dimitroff did do good things in Atlanta, but he did some bad things in Atlanta as well. So, I mean, this is how you do it. You get that rookie quarterback. You groom this guy like they groomed Dak under Tony. And then Dak came in, and the knowledge that he gained from Tony and his athleticism from college puts them two things together. And now he is one of the top paid quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm not going to talk about Dak's play. That's a whole nother podcast for another podcaster. But this is how you do it, Falcon fans. This is how you build your franchise. This is how you start from the bottom. We talked about it, guys. You have a young receiver, a young running back, a young O-line, you have it all, a young tight end that could possibly be traded this offseason or maybe re-signed. Who knows what happens there? But this whole team is young. And so this is where you're starting to look at, okay, the Falcons are playing to win now, but the Falcons are also building a dynasty here in Atlanta. That's what you have to look at in the long run when you look at these quarterback situations, because Kirk Cousins, another 4 years in the NFL, if he stays healthy as a vet in the NFL. Can we agree on that? 4 years tops for Kirk is probably his ceiling.
Probably
And that's if he gets back from this.
Right, but I don't want to see Kirk go away. If let's say Penix does take over from here.
The only
on out.
way, let's look at it like this, Cody. The only way you let Kirk Cousins walk, if Kirk Cousins feels in his head, okay, let's just say they say Penix is a starter, right?
Mm-hmm.
They say Penix is our quarterback going forward. Kirk, you can be our backup. You can be our backup and mentor the guy that we drafted under you. You've been with him since his rookie season, if that's what you want to do, and you can retire right here as an Atlanta Falcon as a backup. Right. Or if Kirk's got in his head, I want to be a starting quarterback in this league. I still have years left. I'm chasing a ring. I don't want to be a backup. Then you search for that trade partner in Kirk Cousins that's going to take a – and Kirk has to agree to this trade. And it's all – remember the rumors, guys? I don't know if this affiliated with anything, but remember the rumors early on where Kirk Cousins supposedly stated to his agent, if the Falcons were to trade Kirk Cousins, it had to be to a playoff contender. He didn't want to go to anybody that was not a playoff contender.
Right.
So if these rumors are true, that tells me Kirk Cousins is not taking a backup role. Kirk Cousins still thinks he has it left in the tank.
But that's if they wanted to trade him, though.
Right. I mean, it's if they wanted to trade him. Absolutely. But I think as a regime, as a front office, if the player don't want to be here, you send them on their way.
But I think he likes it here personally. I don't think he has a problem with, or, I don't think it's like I don't want to be here type deal with the situation here with him being, benched at the moment. I think this was really his decision. I truly feel I feel like Raheem was still confident in Kirk, but I think Kirk just knows his limits, his body at the moment, and he knows the situation we're in, and he done this on his own.
Guys, when this morning on the way to work, when y'all heard my voice chat right this morning, early in the morning, like at 6 in the morning. So I'm headed to work and I'm listening to all these Falcon podcasts on the radio on the way into work, and then I go and I'm like, I didn't see the interviews last night, so let's watch the interviews on the way into work. And so it's playing over the radio. I'm not even looking at my phone. I'm just listening to it on the radio, and I hear one of the first things that come out of a reporter's mouth, obviously, was the play of Kirk Cousins. And when Raheem Morris answered this question, I immediately went to our group chat and sent a voice message, because when I heard Raheem Morris say we have got to have better play at the quarterback position, that told me Raheem Morris is getting ready for a quarterback switch, because this whole time, and I'm not saying Raheem isn't still riding for Kirk, because he did this very professionally in his comments of why he swapped quarterbacks. But when I heard that, I knew then Kirk Cousins was fixing to get benched and Penix will be the starter. We have a comment here from Robbie Gordon. Says, I don't agree with y'all saying he has to play good to stay quarterback. No disrespect, but fans are done with Kirk. Penix will be starting quarterback no matter what next season. Kirk is done. My thoughts on that, and then we're going to rotate around the panel for this. My thoughts on this, Robbie, and I appreciate your comment, as we do everybody's comment. Head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button if you're a new Falcon fan, or a new DFU fan. Hit that subscribe button. My views on this, Robbie, is the fact that, okay, you say he doesn't have to play good to stay at quarterback. That's where me and you are going to have to disagree. And the reason why I say that is because at one point you were a 3-point game advantage in the NFC South. Guess who did that? Kirk Cousins. At one point you had the NFC South. Yes, the collapse doesn't back what I'm saying. It doesn't give me good ground to stand on to debate with you about this, but I feel as if Kirk Cousins has shown he can still win games in the NFL. So if Penix comes out and does not play well, Kirk Cousins will be your quarterback next season. That's my thoughts on it. And then Philip, we can go around real quick on that. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but take your time.
I kind of feel the same way. Like it's just like saying if Penix doesn't play well, maybe we don't want to have another Ritter situation where it ruins his confidence if he doesn't play well, or we want this guy to be our future, as we stated, like Cody stated earlier. This is our future. We want him 100% confident in himself and ready to go out there and play to the best ability that we know he can, and probably will. We just don't, because if we're being honest, there was a lot of fans that were done with Ryan, but even though he didn't really have reasons to, but they were done with Ryan, and he still went out there every week and still gave it his all. I don't know, like I got
an idea. We got a lot of people in the chat, and obviously I cannot get everybody's comments. So what I want to do is I'm going to drop the link right here in the comment section. If you're a Falcon fan and you can be respectful for the podcast, keep it PG-13 for the kids at home. Hit the link and come on here and talk football here with DFU.
I don't disagree with this, but at the same time, I just don't want another Ritter situation where he's not confident in himself. I want him 100% confident and ready to go out there every week if that's the case.
I agree. Cody, Robert, anything y'all want to chime in here to Mr. Robbie? Shout out to Mr. Robbie for the comment, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll let Robert take it if he wants to go first.
Well, I agree. I mean, yes, he does have to play good in order to hold on to the job. And, and one of the reasons is the money that we're paying Kirk. I mean, if Penix goes out there and doesn't, if he doesn't perform, if he's underwhelming, then, with all the money tied up into Kirk, once he's healthy, I mean, it's a no-brainer to put him back in.
Yeah.
And, do I hope that Penix comes out and sets the world on fire? Absolutely. I mean, if the future's now, the future's now. But, worst case scenario, if he goes out there and lays an egg, we got too much money tied up into the veteran.
Yep, absolutely. That's a good statement there, Robert. I didn't even think about the amount of money that you'd be paying somebody to ride the bench if you have a rookie that's playing shitty. Cody, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with Robert. I would say if Michael Penix goes out there and sucks, I don't care how done Falcon fans are.
And that start I'm so ADHD, guys. Please bear with me. I'm sorry if I cut you guys in the middle of a sentence.
You're good.
I'm so ADHD, so please bear with me. But Cody, that brings up a whole nother situation of what this season could be, bro. Like, say Penix does come out there and shits the bed. Let me knocking on wood here. We don't want this to happen. Knocking on wood, but just say this does happen. Terry's losing his job.
Oh, without a doubt. I was to say, Terry definitely needs to be on the hot seat. If let's say we go beat Washington and, again, knock on wood, because I do not want this to happen. We find a way to lose to Carolina, and it knocks us out. Terry needs to be on the hot seat.
Carolina.
But like I said, I'm not going to put that out.
Games
in the
like
universe,
that get you fired. Games
yeah,
like
they do, and you should be. If you lose to Carolina and it knocks you out of playoffs, Terry Fontenot should be out of here.
If we lose to the Carolina Panthers, I'm gonna be in a coma till next year.
But yeah, no, like I say, Michael Penix has to come out and he has to set the world on fire for this to be, his job going into next year. And a lot of it, I think, it has to do with the money, and especially because we've seen what Kirk Cousins. This is a thing that people, I understand that it's the NFL and fans. It's a lot of what have you done for me lately, but you have to remember that Kirk Cousins is the reason that we're even in this race.
Right.
If Kirk Cousins doesn't come out and play the way that he has played before, this little skid of his, we're not in the playoff race. We're not looking as good as we are without the way Kirk Cousins playing. You're telling me Michael Penix against, and who knows, but you're telling me Michael Penix could have done what Kirk Cousins did against Tampa Bay? Because at the end of the day, that's what gives us hope right now, is because of what Kirk Cousins did to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice.
Yes.
That's why Kirk Cousins, if Michael Penix does not come out and set the world on fire, this is, to me, is still Kirk Cousins' team next year. And again, I hope Michael Penix comes out and it's a very easy choice for the Falcons. And it's just like, oh my God, this kid is, you get the game of, he throws like Matt Ryan, and looks like Tom Brady, but, has the legs, Dak Prescott, and, whatever combination you want to throw together to make, our next perfect quarterback. And it makes it very simple for us as fans and as a Falcon organization for them. But I'm telling you right now, Kirk Cousins will start for this team if Michael Penix doesn't do that. If Penix comes out and loses two of the next three or whatever, and we get knocked out, Kirk Cousins is starting for this football team. As long as he's healthy.
Right. Falcon fans, we got a special guest here on the podcast. Somebody hit the link and ready to talk some Falcon football. We're bringing on no other than my guy Sterling Woods. Sterling, what's going on, brother? Glad to have you on the live podcast.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
Not much, man. You're a big time supporter of what we do here at DFU, man. You've been watching the show. The Michael Penix Jr. news has broke. Sterling, your thoughts and views on the Michael Penix Jr. Now your starting quarterback to finish off the season.
So I feel like Michael can bring more to the table as far as like mobility, but at the same time, I know he's young. He's gonna make mistakes.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like we got what he needs. We got the tools. We got the wide receivers. We got the running backs. We got the offensive line. So I feel like he can win these last 3 games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've seen what the kid did in college. Took his team to a undefeated season. Took them pretty deep in the playoffs. Initially ended up losing that championship game, but Michael Penix Jr. has shown throughout his career why he is where he is and why he was selected number 8. Coming out of the draft, Penix was known to have the best deep ball out of the whole NFL. Guys, we've had receivers deep this season that we've missed on deep balls, no matter whether that be Kirk being hurt or from pressure from the O-line folding. But I think the deep ball could be a problem here for these last 3 games, and I think that's what you're going to see. If you take it back a couple of games back to Denver, when Casey Washington goes out with the concussion, Michael Penix Jr. throws an absolute dot that if it's Drake London, that is a catch for 35 yards, first down. You're in the red zone now. Michael Penix Jr. has talent, guys, and I'm excited to see what this first rep with the first team be here. for his first official, game start. Falcon fans, hit that like button. Sports Nuts is in the chat with us. Said, "What's good, fellas? We gave y'all a shout out now on the episode. Appreciate it, Sports Nuts." Robbie Gordon in the chat says, "Remember when Marcus Mariota did when we announced Ritter was the starter? He left. He stayed home, didn't come to games. I bet Kirk does the same." I doubt it.
No.
Kirk's not Marcus Mariota. I doubt it.
No. Kirk Cousins is a professional. I would say Marcus Mariota's garbage.
I don't know.
I would
Sterling, if you're still here, brother, I don't know if that was a lag on my end or if you left because you gave your view, but shout out to Sterling Woods if he's gone. Shout out to Sterling for coming through and dropping his thoughts on Michael Penix. Continue on, Cody.
Yeah, no, Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota are completely different people. Marcus Mariota was garbage for what he did. Kirk Cousins is a professional, and he'll be here, until we send him away.
Because if that's the case, he would have done that with any other team. He would have done it with Washington. He would have done it with Minnesota. Same difference. Kirk's just a businessman. That's who he is. He understands things. I just don't see him. No.
Yeah, I don't see Kirk doing it. He's too professional.
Kirk's not doing that.
He's been professional his whole career. Ken Davis in the chat on Facebook said, "Also, if you win the same number of games you lose, you're back at 0." Yep. Mateo in the chat said, "MPJ the starter could have been after the bye week." Yeah. Yep. You're right. You're right. Jordan in the chat said, "Penix time, baby." That's Dylan. Kirk put me to sleep last night. Sheesh. Kirk done said, "If they tell me my time is up," and this is true. I remember Kirk saying this. He says, Kirk did say, "If they tell me my time is up, I understand, and I'll do everything I can to help the next guy, to be the best guy." And that's absolutely right. Kirk did say that. He said he knew coming to the Atlanta Falcons that his time would eventually be up and that he would play until that time came. So you're absolutely right, Dylan. That's a great comment there from Dylan. Mateo in the chat, shout out to Mateo, says, "We're going to see Penix versus Mariota when we play Washington." Shit. No, don't say that on Daniels. That would be crazy if you get to see Marcus Mariota. Who is Marcus Mariota playing for? Is it with Washington still?
I don't know. No, he's an Eagle, isn't he?
Hey,
he's an Eagle.
Is he though?
Oh,
I thought he was.
Hey, Siri, who does Marcus Mariota play for?
Free agency.
That's where
Yeah, he plays for the Eagles.
Unemployment line.
Plays for the Eagles.
My bad.
Tony Prime
Free
Time
agency.
says Lewis Riddick should be our GM. Keith Simmons in the chat said the bin is going to be rocking. Falcon fans, we've got to pack it out the last week in the bins.
I'm sorry.
When the Panthers come to town, we got to pack it out for this rookie, man.
I'm not with that.
They got to pack it
Shout
out
out to Keith Simmons on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Glad to have you.
That last comment, I am not with the Lewis Riddick.
Are we home this week?
Yeah, we're at home against the Giants.
Home?
Yeah, we're home against the Giants.
Oh.
Man, you ain't
now
gonna be there,
I may be making a ride to Atlanta Sunday. Who?
We can't. Got a party, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, the party's in Atlanta, Philip.
This Sunday?
Man. Yeah, this Sunday we're against the Giants.
This Sunday, Philip?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in Atlanta, homie.
I'll
be
at
Don't listen to this fraud.
He'll be at the bins with me, man. We'll party.
Yeah, he's capping.
If the lady's down to go, we may just make that ride over. That's the rookie's first start, man. That's tough. I was there for Desmond Ritter's first start in New Orleans, so why not Penix? Mateo in the chat said, "Well, never mind, LOL." Robbie said, "I appreciate your opinions, guys. Thanks for responding to my comments." Absolutely, Robbie. This is what the podcast is for, brother. Falcon fans talking Falcon football. This is what we do it for, man. Check us out on YouTube if you haven't already, brother. Hit that subscribe button. Keith Simmons said the Benz is going to be rocking Sunday. I can't wait to see it, man. That's lit. I totally thought this game was in New York, guys. Totally thought it was in New York. So you're with Terry the Saint? Nah, player.
I'm not with Lewis Riddick either. This is the same guy that was going to basically ship out the rest of the whole team.
Lewis Riddick did have. Yeah,
starting with Matt Ryan, the guy that led our franchise to most anything. So no, I will stick with Terry on that any day because Terry actually wanted to keep him. But
Keith Simmons said, "Can we get a refund if Kirk retires?" God, that would be sweet, Keith. I like that. That's a great comment there from Keith. Mateo in the chat said that Raider game was too close. Guess all our games are going to be this close this season. Maybe we'll blow out the Panthers last week. Let's talk about it, guys, because we've been 40 minutes right now on the Michael Penix situation. All right, let's talk about it, guys. Philip, start it from the top. The Las Vegas Raiders versus the Atlanta Falcons. Take it from the top. What went wrong? What went right? Where does the Falcons need to improve?
I'm gonna start off what went wrong. For starters,
Okay, hold on.
we
Philip. This guy runs the Atlanta Falcons Canada page. Enjoy seeing your podcast on there. Shout out to Robbie and the Canada crew that watches DFU, man. That's what's up, man. Shout out to you guys in Canada. Always rise up.
It's
Philip,
nice
go
up
ahead,
here, man. Anyway, start first things first, man. We come out hot. I'm pretty sure, but I want to start off with what I've seen that was bad. I didn't see a whole lot on the defense that was too bad for once, which has been the whole past 3 weeks. But one major thing that stood out to me was I seen Kirk obviously fondling with his leg too much. Every time I seen him drop back, once that foot was planted, it didn't move. He didn't move around. Maybe a couple times when he ran, but that was like maybe twice. Other than that, he stayed stationary majority of the game, and some of them plays he got lucky on because some of it could have happened. Could have been more sacks than what it could, or strip fumble, strip sack, whatever. On the positive side, we did see he did throw a passing touchdown for the first time in 4 weeks. It gave us all tears of joy. We loved it.
Yeah, I was happy, man.
And it was on a breakaway route to
Yeah.
none other than my favorite guy, Drake London. So that was good to see. Another positive is the defense is still showing that they can get sacks, that they can get to the quarterback. And
absolutely.
Shout out to the man Red, aka Cordero Hodge. He blocked 2 punts.
Real quick, Philip, real quick. Shout out to Mr. 1K. Not Tyler Algier, but the other Mr. 1K.
I was about to, you did.
The other Mr. 1K.
You ain't let me finish. And none other than the man himself, Bijan Robinson, the myth, the legend, the hype, as we love to call him here on DFU. That he is the hype.
You're kissing his ass too much.
1K. 1K yards. I'm kissing his ass. I don't care. That is my guy. I was happy when we got him, and that was the pick I wanted that year anyway. That is a whole. From what I can remember, that is a recap of my good and bad of the game. There's probably a lot that I didn't touch on, but I want to give everybody else a point of view and opportunity to say what they see.
Absolutely. Philip, great points there on the recap of Las Vegas versus the Atlanta Falcons. Cody, we'll go to you and then Mr. Robert.
And we got the dub after 4 weeks as well.
Yeah, the breaking the losing streak. Cody, the recap of Las Vegas versus Atlanta, brother. What you got?
Yeah, well, first off, I appreciate you taking down the Youngway Koo slander because I will not tolerate it.
Which one? You talk this guy.
I saw
Dylan?
something about cutting Koo. Yeah, no, I won't take the Youngway Koo slander on this podcast. Koo's dealing with a hip injury, and that boy's still out there kicking field goals. He didn't miss one. I would say he looking good.
No, he did miss one, Cody. He missed one.
Oh, he must have. Okay, that was.
Yeah. Because it could have been. I think
40. It was a 48. Something.
I must have been.
It could have been 22-9, I believe.
Oh, that's probably when my stream was buffering.
18 or 18. I can't remember. It was something like I don't even remember. But
he did this one. Damn. All right. Well, that's all right. He's won us more games than he's lost this one. So no Koo slander. But anyways, God, the bright shining star on this Atlanta Falcon defense is not getting enough love, and that is Caden Ellis, man. 55 is a fucking problem for everybody. Everybody. That boy has a motor. He had, what was it, six tackles for loss. I think it was like 6 tackles for loss, 9 solo tackles. Like 12 or 13 quarterback pressures. I think he was in on a sack. Caden Ellis is something else. No, Mateo, no Koo slander. Here we go again. I'll say he'll get it right. He's hurt too. I'll say his hips. Now I do agree. I think Koo's hurt, and I think that's something Raheem needs to address as well. But I can't believe you guys are hating on my boy. Caden Ellis, man, is is a bright spot for this defense. And when you use him right, like we said, you put pressure, get him pressure up the middle, play him on the edge, let him bend, let him do. I've been screaming for that for when we were struggling defensively, and he flat out. I mean, look at him. I mean, so I've got nothing but good things to say about Caden Ellis, and I hope he's a Falcon until he's done.
That's another one of those Terry signings.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the sad thing is the way that this season is cracked up. Like, I think Terry's drafts have been kind of iffy, especially with the Kyle Pitts thing. I'll give it an iffy grade, like that C minus area. But God, when it comes to free agents and getting guys signed that you need, he's done great. And that's the one thing that Terry's absolutely done, is brought in talent into this team. That way is through free agency and through signings. So it's good to see that. But the bad was definitely watching Kirk struggle. Like, I wasn't enjoying that at all. I think it sucks, man, because he had us on such highs. I mean, think about how much fun the podcast was, for the first 9 weeks of this season.
He's still here, though, boys.
The cowboy, the cowboy hats, the brooms, the 3-game lead on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So to watch him, having to hold his leg and all that stuff, that was the bad. This game shouldn't have been anywhere close. There's no reason that we shouldn't have won that game by 21 points. Yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. It was an ugly win, and I agreed. Somebody commented that it was a win, but it didn't feel like a win. And I understand that. It was a gross win. It was definitely one of those wins where you're like, I don't really feel good about this. But the good news is that he won the game, or he won, we won. That's all that mattered. That's what we said. You could have 2 losses, and you already took those 2, and you could not take one from the Raiders, even though, there were times that there at the end it got a little scary. But I mean,
thought for sure they were fixing to make a comeback. That shit was annoying. Real quick, Philip, real quick. Hold on. I threw the banner up real quick. If you don't want your face on the podcast and you want to just call in, that's the hotline number. Hit the hotline and bring your thoughts about Michael Penix Jr. on the live podcast. Hotline right below. Philip, continue.
Speaking of wearing hats, brooms, everything, we beat Pirates this week. We got to bring out the store because we own it. We own it. We adding that to the clip, bro.
Philip, who's that?
That's CFU's personal, man. That's their favorite guy right there, man. That's their guy right there, man.
Dylan, I ain't gonna do it because the only thing you gonna come here and say is Koo needs to be cut, and we're talking about Penix. So I'm gonna politely decline your call. Falcon fans, hit the hotline. We talking Falcon football, man. Michael Penix Jr. hotline only. No Koo. Michael Penix Jr. hotline only. Robert, your thoughts on this recap of Las Vegas versus the Atlanta Falcons? As Philip stated, you started off hot, then you kind of fizzled out as you have the past month of football. Yep. Your thoughts on this recap here, Mr. Robert?
Well, one thing that I did notice, and we've all been critical of Zach Robinson and his play calling. It was pretty bland last night. It was actually really boring, and I wish he could have been a little more creative, but I do got to give him credit. He knew Kirk was hurting. And, just a run-heavy game plan, it got us by. So, I got to tip my hat to Zach on that one. I mean, it was pretty smart coaching. One thing that I did like to see, to touch on Cody's point, Caden Ellis has really taken over this defense.
Yes, he has.
And, with what he's been doing, it kind of opened the door for other players last night. I mean, D'Angelo Malone had 2 sacks.
Yes, sir. D'Angelo Malone off the bench with the 2 sacks. That was major.
And that's one thing that really that's got me excited is I honestly think that Jimmy Lake has figured this out. Now, if we can just get Zach Robinson to figure it out and be a little bit more dynamic, and who knows, maybe that changes this Sunday. And then when you think about it in a way, I mean, it's a genius move that Raheem is given the reins to Penix in this game. The Giants are trash. The game's at home. And just this could really not only fire up this rookie quarterback, but it can get the fans back and bring that energy back. That's really what I'm hoping happens.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have it. You got to have this something to grow off here these last 3 games, even if you don't somehow make this playoff push. But when you watch a game where you should be killing this team, like Cody said, there was a time where it was like the Falcons are going to go up by 3 touchdowns today. This is the confidence the Falcons need to get back on that track. And Cody, we talked about it in the pregame show that this could be the game that Kirk throws for 3 touchdowns and has a breakout game to gain his confidence back. Guys, we got a call in on the hotline. Let's see who this is. See who this is here. Go ahead, DFU speaking.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Mateo.
Mateo on the live chat with it. Mateo, what's going on, brother? Michael Penix Jr., now you're starting quarterback. Your thoughts on Michael Penix, brother?
Man, I was hoping to see Kirk play it out, but all these interceptions, man. I feel like Raheem was a little bit tad late on the quarterback switch.
Yeah.
But maybe this is what we need to get that spark going.
Absolutely. Mateo, 3 games left. A big situation here for Michael Penix Jr., the rookie, getting his first start in the Benz against the Giants at home. Home crowd will be there for Penix. Do you think the nerves are going to rattle my guy, Michael Penix, or will this guy come out and show the athleticism that he can be and that he once was in college?
We at home. I feel he's gonna have that Atlanta energy behind him. I feel like the crowd is definitely gonna stand behind him with the quarterback switch. You know how Atlanta is that swagger team.
Yep.
So I feel like that new young buck energy might actually bring more fans out just to see what he has.
Yep.
So I feel he'll play his Sunday's best.
Absolutely. Mateo, man, we appreciate you for participating here on the hotline, brother. Always doing things for the channel. Mateo, we're going to let you go, brother. Appreciate you calling in and giving your thoughts on Michael Penix.
For sure, brother. Let's rise up.
Rise up, man. Rise up.
up.
Shout out to my guy, Mateo, man. Mateo always participating in whatever we got going on in the podcast. We got a special guest in the back room. He's Coos' biggest fan. My guy, Dylan Cravey, is here to talk Falcon football. Dylan, we are not on the coup subject as of now, but Michael Penix, now you're starting quarterback here for the Atlanta Falcons, something that DFU has talked about here for quite a moment. It is now officially here. Michael Penix Jr., you're starting quarterback. Dylan, your thoughts. Just give me a quick summary on what you expect here from this rookie.
Well, I'm excited because I'm not going to lie, I wasn't joking when I said that Kirk Cousins put me to sleep last night. I literally fell asleep on my couch watching an Atlanta Falcons game that I don't usually fall asleep to. You let Desmond Ridder, who we released, put a touchdown up, 2 interceptions, 280 yards. So
those last 2 drives,
Classic Ritter stats though.
So seeing our rookie come in and actually be given a chance to pass the ball, run the ball, etc., kind of is a good thing because Kirk Cousins is not pulling through. Kirk Cousins has got a leg injury. We can all see it. I mean, anytime he drops back, he goes down on his leg. So, I mean, we all see it. I thought last night when he tried to do his little 10-yard rush that he was done for.
that was going to be it.
He got back up, which was a good thing, but I believe Michael Penix is going to be a great thing. Michael Penix is young. He's got speed. If he needs to break from the pocket, he can do so. He's got Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Darnell Mooney. He's got all the weapons he needs. All we're missing is that quarterback.
I agree with you, Dylan. Some Falcon fans disagree, say there's bigger needs to this offense as far as play calling, but you look at some of the plays where
I'll finish that.
Michael Penix Jr. is rolling out of that pocket. He's rolling out of that pocket and he's making the throw. I'm not saying Penix is going to roll out the pocket and run for 50 yards like Lamar Jackson, but Michael Penix is going to roll out that pocket and try to make a play happen. It's the younger style of football. Kirk Cousins is that pocket passer.
He's going to chunk it deep down the field.
You've seen it in Tom Brady.
Look at the teams. Look at the teams that are successful this year. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. They're all on successful teams. Patrick Mahomes. I don't glaze Patrick Mahomes because I don't really care for him. But just using them as an example, all 3 of their teams are shining this year, and that's because they have a quarterback that can get out of the pocket and move when needed to.
Absolutely. That's what the game has transitioned to year after year after year, and that's what a lot of the old heads don't like about the NFL now is that you don't have a pocket passing quarterback because the game has evolved so much since their time of quarterback. I mean, you think about the new rookies that are coming out the draft right now. If you can give me just one solid, no running pocket passer, I will pay you $50. But I don't think you had a first or second round quarterback that could not run out the pocket or that could not extend a play drafted at quarterback. You had a JJ McCarthy that can roll out the pocket, a Bo Nix, a Jaden Jaden Daniels,
Bro, want some McDonald's.
Who else? Caleb Williams. I mean, you have all these
Williams.
players, Drake May, all these players now that are playing this new style of football. So you're absolutely right, Dylan. Maybe this opens up a new style of offense for this team. Maybe defenses take Michael Penix more serious in the play action because of the deep arm threat. They have no tape, like Cody said earlier. So maybe this is your chance to get some big plays off early in the last 3 games of the season.
Say this could also be maybe, I don't know, in a way, could be a good thing for Kyle Pitts too. You know, we don't know.
Exactly.
Even with the play action that we do every single Sunday, even with the play action, Michael Penix can get out of the pocket. If he sees that play action pass is collapsing, he can get out of the pocket, move, get us a few yards.
Well, see, that's been the issue this year. That's why you've ran a 98% pistol formation because, and they said this was leaked by a reporter. I don't know how true this is, but a reporter came out and said that they asked Zach Robinson, why is the Atlanta Falcons still playing the pistol formation? Why are the Atlanta Falcons not in play action? And the response that this reporter got back from Zach Robinson is, we're not able to control the pass rush on the play action. So maybe that's why I bring up the fact of maybe these defenses take Penix more serious in a play action style of offense because this guy has a deep ball. If we mess around and bring the house, well, guess what? Penix has just took the top off of Drake London or Ray McLeod or Darnell Mooney, whoever it may be. Dylan, we're getting ready to close this podcast out, brother. I appreciate you coming through and giving your thoughts on Penix. Anytime you want to come talk Falcon football, the podcast is open. That goes for anybody in the live chat. Dylan, appreciate the thoughts and views for tonight, bro.
All right, y'all be good. Koo sucks.
Falcon fans, hit that like button.
Get him out of here.
Comment. Whose biggest hater is now off the podcast? Shout out to Dylan for coming through. Shout out to Mateo for coming on, participating in the hotline. You are actually the first hotline participant. So shout out to my guy Mateo for doing that. That's something we want to start here on the channel, man. For people that don't want to show their face but want to talk Falcon football, that's the easiest way to do it. And if you can be respectful and come on here and do that, that's all we ask. And we don't mind talking Falcon football with anybody. Mateo, before we get out of here, says the new evolution in defense is different. Definitely need a quarterback that could have leg options. Jakin likes bacon. Said Cody on top. Cody. Cody's had like 3 viewers in the comment section. Like Cody may be the famous person here on the podcast. He may be like every podcast just has that one guy that everybody likes.
That everybody knows.
Cody's that guy. Cody, since you're that guy, shout outs for tonight, dog.
Shout outs for tonight. Shout out to you guys coming on, and talking Falcon football. Shout out to my wife and kid out there listening. I can hear myself through my wall. So that's always good to know that they're watching. Shout out to everybody that came on, commented. Still don't appreciate the coup slander. So, but
here's the thing, Cody. Let's touch on it real quick before we get out of here, because I mean, Koo is in a slump. Okay, He's tied for possibly right now the most misses on the season with some other guy. I don't know, but is it just
it is
the best kicker in the league? He has the worst. He's crazy. Having the worst year of his whole career.
That's crazy. Let's see. This is the thing. Like Koo's hurt. Okay, and this is me coming at Raheem Morris for once on this podcast. Raheem Morris, you have got to go and hire a kicker that can relieve Koo until he's healthy. Until then, you're going to continue to miss 48-yard field goals. You're going to continue to take penalties to back up to punt the ball. That was the most embarrassing shit I've ever sat through as a Falcon fan.
Man,
I
literally sat there. I yelled at the team. Well, I didn't really yell, but I got loud. I said, "Kick the damn ball!"
Yeah,
well, it's like when I seen him come up there, and then they did like the fake setup where they were going to do like a fake. I told Destiny, I told my wife then, I was like, they don't trust Koo to kick it. He's hurt. They
Man,
don't. They know they're not about to kick this field goal. They're going to back up. Take the
and that
flag.
is 100% on them. On that
Hang on,
part.
I got something for this. Hang on, let's see.
Robert, your thoughts on Koo?
Well, like I said, he's got the hip injury. I mean, he's like I said, won more games for us than he's lost. If carrying a backup kicker is going to get us through and all that, I think Raheem needs to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that a big old fist in the back?
What you got for us, Cody?
This man right here.
There you go.
This man right here has won this football team some serious games. If we don't have this man right here, we don't beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the first one. This man right here sends us into overtime. This man right here also beats Tampa Bay last year and throws his helmet off, and he's going to be okay. Bad season.
Yeah, you got to let him heal. That's my point. You got to let him heal. You got to let him get back to what he is. And then next year, if you come in and Koo's still missing field goals, then we can talk about Koo on the podcast. But let's let Koo heal, and possibly maybe if you can sign a kicker, why not let Koo heal if you make this playoff push? Because you're going to need him in the playoffs. You're going to need that for the playoff push. Tony in the chat said Cody's everyone's favorite. He's the redhead. I'm a redhead. I got a little bit of red. I got a red beard. I mean, that counts. He said that was the longest 30 seconds ever. Sterling Woods in the chat. Shout out to Sterling Woods for coming on the podcast tonight, giving his thoughts on Penix. Much love to Sterling Woods. Says, I don't know why they did that. Let Cody go and kick those field goals.
No, you don't want me doing that shit.
Cody says let Koo.
I'll go play center for him, but I ain't kicking no damn field goals. I don't want that pressure.
I'll take the job. I'll take it.
If Koo could take a pay cut, it would help, but we want more touchdowns and field goals. I respect Koo's game. Winner, though. Yes, sir. Robert, give me your shout-outs for tonight, brother. We've hit our hour mark, and it is almost 10 o'clock.
Shout out to you guys for letting me be a part of this. It's always an honor and a privilege. Shout out to our viewers tonight. Thanks for helping us out. Thanks for supporting us. Without you guys, this isn't possible. Shout out to the Falcons for coming through last night. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but we'll take an ugly win any day, especially after a 4-game slide.
Yes.
A win's a win.
Exactly. And special thanks to God above for giving us another day, and to my family, Brianna, Peyton, Zach, and Christy. Love y'all. Rise up.
One last thing on the Koo thing, and then I'm done. This is the only guy that scored in Denver, guys. Remember that? we would have been shut out if it wasn't for this face right here.
You're absolutely right, Cody. You're absolutely right.
We will have a podcast for you, hopefully Friday night. We will be live, and we'll dive in deeper on this Penix starting against the Giants, what it could be, and what we expect from Michael Penix Jr. Obviously, we'll have a pregame show for you Sunday, and then maybe, just possibly, we're in the bin Sunday watching Michael Penix with his first ever start. Falcon fans, hit that like button, leave a comment. Philip, shout-outs for tonight's show before we get ready to close out.
Shout out, my God, man, our Lord and Savior. We here another day. Like Robert said, we are here. Shout out to the barber. Last night I come on here and I was rugged, man. We're good today. We're feeling better. So
I thought you was gonna bring the do-rag out. The news was broke. I thought you was gonna start with the do-rag.
Listen. We gonna bring it out for Sunday. When I'm at that party Sunday.
Who has the Christmas party on Sunday?
Who
has a Christmas party on Sunday? That's got to be rescheduled. That has got to be rescheduled.
But it's in the morning, bro. It's in the morning, bro.
Grandma, if you're watching this podcast, you're rescheduling your Christmas party because we're not showing up. We're going to the game.
He said we're not showing up. Shit. But,
she's a Chiefs fan anyway. She did it on purpose. She did that shit on purpose.
Be all right. We don't care about them. Anyway. Shout out to the Dirty Birds. We had to pull this out because it is throwback week. We're gonna get back into the red helmets. So and the old logo right here, the throwback logo. So
we are gonna get back this week.
We are in the throwbacks against them boys. And then this is, shout out to that boy Penix. I hope
the rookie out there in style.
I hope you come out and ball, man. I hope nothing but the best for you. And I hope this city rides behind you like we, just like what we did with Kurt these first few games. And if you do end up laying an egg, man, I knock on wood right now that I hope you don't. But I hope they continue to ride with you and that you don't get fair weather fans just like Kurt does. and then shout out to Kirk as well, man. You got us through half this season. With these 7 wins, we're there where we were last year with these 7 wins. And without you, we wouldn't have had all these fun times at the beginning of this season. So shout out to you.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to them. Shout out to the Dirty Birds. We did get the win. And I'm hyped to see what's like in store for us these next few weeks, man.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be in it, man. Let's rise up. Y'all know what to do, man.
Shout out to you guys for coming through tonight, boys. Couldn't do the podcast without you guys. Once again, shout out to all the live viewers in the comment section. Shout out to everybody Cody brings to the chat. Tony in the chat. Jake and Likes Bacon in the chat. Falcon fans, hit that like button. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Ring the bell. We are on the road to 1K. We cannot get there without you guys. We were at 450.
Oh, and shout out to you guys as well.
We were at 459 before the live podcast. On the road to 1K. If we can reach the 500 mark before the season ends, Falcon fans, we would greatly appreciate it. My guy Cody Phillips got something he wants to say.
I was just going to remind you about the giveaway, just in case. Yeah,
get to that right now before I was really interrupted by Avit. Cody has a giveaway here on the podcast he wants to do for the Falcon fans. Cody has given away a pair of AirPods, the second generation, you said, or what's it called?
I think it's second generation. I don't know. I don't use
They're noise canceling AirPods.
There you go.
Second generation. He's like that.
They're sports.
He gets it like that.
We're real sporty here at DFU, giving away Apple products on the channel, man. Shout out to Cody for what he does for the channel here. Be sure to have a new subscriber subscribe to the channel, and you have to hashtag DFU in a live chat to be able to be entered for the live raffle. So make sure if you're getting somebody to subscribe, you're commenting on the live podcast and letting us know so we can write your name down to be entered in this raffle. It goes all the way, Cody, you said until the end of the season?
End of the season.
End of the season.
Make sure that
new subscribers in here.
Yeah, whoever you get to come subscribe, make sure that they reference you. That way we know who gets points.
Yep, absolutely. Jake and Light Bacon, man. That's the goal, Jake. And said y'all should do live commentary while a game is being played. That's eventually gonna happen here for the channel. I guarantee it. So stick around with DFU.
Side of me, if that's the case,
because that's gonna happen. That's definitely gonna happen. So
I get
around here for that. It'll have to be a away game where we're all here on the podcast.
I get wound up.
So stay tuned in for that, man. Once again, shout out to all you guys that's tuned in. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to the wife for telling me to turn the volume down just a little bit. Kids are in the bed. So shout out to the fact that I can go and play the PlayStation maybe after the podcast. So shout out to that. Shout out to I do. Well, shout out to Michael Penix Jr. Guys, a new era in Atlanta is officially fixing to take place.
QB1.
It is time to see what you selected number 8 in the 2024 draft Sunday in Atlanta. Falcon fans, be there, be loud, be in your seat.
Show out for your boy.
Show out for Penix, man. Show out for the rookie. Do it big for him. This is his lifelong dream officially coming into play.
Something that we all probably wanted to do, and he's doing it.
This is a guy that you drafted that said one of his favorite quarterbacks of all time is Michael Vick. Like, this guy belongs in a Falcon uniform. It's time for the Penix era in Atlanta, Falcon fans. Hit that like button, leave a comment. DFU was getting ready to get up out of here. Once again, shout out to each and everybody, man. Much love. We appreciate y'all. Check us out on TikTok, Facebook groups, also on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. We're on, you call it Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Check us out, man. A-Town down, rise up. We appreciate y'all. Much love. We